For this occupational therapy portfolio topic, we're going to be assessing the possibility of increased muscle tone of the elbow flexors and extensors using the modified Ashworth scale. First, we're going to be testing the possibility of muscle tone of the elbow flexors here at the anterior portion of the upper arm by taking the arm into passive extension. So, this is going to be an example of a 0. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So that was an example of a 0 because there was 0 increased muscle tone, or no increased muscle tone throughout the passive range of motion. I felt no catching and no resistance. It was very easy to take her through the passive range of motion. So this is going to be an example of a 1. Okay. All right. Well, first allow me to explain that when testing the 0, I'm able to do a 1, 2, 3. However, for 1, 1 plus, 2, 3, and 4 of the modified Ashworth scale, the increased muscle tone is something that you're going to be able to feel through passive range of motion. So even when I go to take her through the first one, I'm likely to feel the tone anyway. So for this, we're going to do one example of the rest of them. So this is going to be an example of a 1. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So that was an example of a 1 because I felt a catch at near the end of the range of motion, but also a quick release from that catch as well. This is going to be an example of a 1 plus. Are you ready? So that's an example of a 1 plus. It's similar to a 1 in the sense that I feel a catch near the end of the range of motion, but instead of a quick release, there is some resistance before the release. So this is going to be an example of a 2. Are you ready? So that's an example of a 2 because I felt catching at multiple points in the range of motion. This is an example of a 3. Are you ready? So that's a 3 because there's increased muscle tone throughout the range of motion as opposed to sort of random catches throughout the range of motion, which makes it quite difficult to take her through passive range of motion. Okay, this is going to be an example of a 4. Are you ready? Okay. A 4 on the modified Ashworth scale means rigidity, meaning that I'm not likely to be able to get her into passive extension due to high muscle tone of the elbow flexors. So now we're going to apply the same principles to the possibility of high muscle tone in the extensors of the elbow at the back of posterior surface of the upper arm by taking the elbow into passive flexion. Okay, so this is going to be an example of a 0. Are you ready? Okay, again, no increase in muscle tone. This is going to be an example of a 1. Are you ready? Okay, again, a quick catch and release near the end of the range of motion. Now this is going to be an example of a 1 plus. Are you ready? Okay, again, catch near the end of the range of motion, but some resistance before the release. This is going to be an example of a 3. Are you ready? I'm sorry. This is going to be an example of a 2. Are you ready? Okay. Okay, again, multiple catches throughout the range of motion. This is going to be an example of a 3. Are you ready? Okay. Okay, again, constant increase in tone throughout the range of motion. And this is going to be an example of a 4. Are you ready? Okay, again, a 4 on the modified Ashworth scale is rigidity. I'm not going to be able to get her through passive range of motion due to high muscle tone in the extensors of the elbow. And that is the modified Ashworth scale.